Hey guys, it's Justine, and today we have the brand new M2 MacBook Air in the studio. Let's open it up and we'll chat about what's new. The box has been opened. I didn't even need a knife. Here it is. Wow. So this is the midnight color. It definitely looks a lot darker, I feel like, when I first saw this because of the lighting. But now that we're here in the studio with some controlled lighting, you could definitely see the hint of blue on it, and it's really, really beautiful. It's such a nice look. Let's open it up. You're just there to greet us. It's wild because it just looks like a very squished down version of the MacBook Pro. Oh my goodness, they already want me to get started. Hold on a second. I need to see what else is in the box. So we've got the MagSafe braided cable, and I love that this is the same color as the MacBooks. Each color will coordinate with whichever color MacBook you get. See, they really should have went all out though and made the USB-C attachment the same color next time. They did do that for the MagSafe attachment. Let's see if we've got any stickers in here. Like, you know there's stickers in here. It's like, it goes without even saying, unless there's not, and then I'll be very sad. Don't worry, Justine is not sad. Here they are. And they match the MacBook. Same color. How pretty. And we've got our charging brick here. This is the dual charging power adapter. This is the 35 watt, and this is pretty cool because you'll be able to charge two things at the same time. And what this does is it'll allocate depending upon how much power each item needs that's plugged in.
To use English as the main language, press the return key.
Okay. I guess we're setting this up now. I wasn't ready.
macOS contains a built-in screen reader called VoiceOver. Hi, I'm Siri.
Hi, I'm Siri.
Hi, I'm Siri.
Hi.
Hi. Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, what do we want? Do we want light mode, dark mode, or do we want automatic? I think I'm gonna go with light mode. There it is. It's all set up. Oh my God, I'm so excited to start testing this out. So this is the M2 chip, and this currently has 16 gigs of RAM, and we have the 1 terabyte storage. These can be configured up to 24 gigs of RAM, which is pretty impressive. There's 4 color options. This is the new Midnight, and it's joined by silver, space gray, and starlight. It has an all aluminum unibody with 20% reduction in volume compared to the previous MacBook Air model. The display is a 12.6-inch liquid retina with 500 nits of brightness, which is 25% brighter. The FaceTime camera is now 1080p with improved low light performance, and the speakers are right between the keyboard and display, giving a 4-speaker sound system for separation and spatial audio. Now the battery on this is also very impressive with up to 18 hours of video playback. It has 2 USB-C ports, MagSafe, high impedance headphone jack, 8-core GPU, 10-core CPU, and in an all fanless super quiet design. There's also some new charging options. This is the new compact 35 watt power adapter with 2 USB-C ports that can allocate power based on which devices are plugged into it. If you do want fast charging though, you're gonna want to use the 67 watt USB-C power adapter for it. This will allow you to get up to 50% charge in just 30 minutes. So now that this is all set up, I'm gonna install some of my favorite apps. Of course, the first thing that I always do install is Final Cut, and I always install Photoshop. Those are pretty much my 2 go-tos. And it's also very exciting because I did a really fun partnership with Motion VFX, and this is the company that I use for all of my plugins and all of my YouTube videos. We came out with a really fun pack called MKeynote. It has a ton of effects, transitions, animations, text, titles, overlays, all kinds of really cool stuff. So if you guys want to get that, I'll put a link in the description, and you may notice that I've been using them throughout this video. So the overall design of this, it is the new unibody aluminum, and before the previous MacBook model, it had like a slanted design, whereas this is kind of taking more of the form factor of the MacBook Pros. I mean, it really does look like a squished down version. So let me just show you kind of where MacBook Air started from and some other kind of comparisons. Brand new M2, here we are, started from the top, and we're gonna go to the bottom, which is the original MacBook Air, which is right here. I mean, look at this thing. This is so wild to see the differences, especially when we flip this around when you guys see the screens. When this MacBook Air was first announced, it was revolutionary. The fact that it was hidden inside of a manila envelope, Steve pulled the laptop out, and the crowd did in fact go wild.
This is the new MacBook Air.
And to kind of see it transition into a little bit larger of a version, but with this all new form factor, it's pretty exciting because since the beginning, it has always had kind of this wedge shaped design. I dropped it, so we can just disregard that. Next up, this is kind of an interesting comparison. This is the MacBook. This is not a MacBook Air, but it's kind of cool to see how tiny this little guy is. And this is when they still had the butterfly keyboard, which I was a fan. Haters gonna hate, but I actually really liked it. The new Air does have the all new Magic keyboard, which I think a lot of people really do like, but hey, butterfly keyboard haters, I was a supporter. So this is the MacBook Air, one of the previous models, and this has that wedge-shaped design. So when we put that up next to the new one, you can really see the difference. The one thing that it did not have though was MagSafe. And why this is really key for the new MacBook Air is this will give you those 2 ports free. So you don't have to worry about losing a port to charge. You can have access to both of those ports. And one of the things to note too is the speaker placement. So the speakers on the previous models were on the side here. So now the new speakers are integrated into the actual device itself, so they are not visible, which gives it kind of a more seamless look and less places to spill drinks into and snacks. So we like that. So this is the 14-inch MacBook Pro, and I wanna show you guys the comparison so that you can see the differences between the size of the 14-inch and the new Air, because they do have a very similar body, but this one is just squished down and a little bit slimmer. And as for top down, you'll see there is a little bit of extra space there. As far as the weight goes, oh yeah, the Air is way lighter. So the Pro does have 3 USB-C, it does have HDMI and an SD card slot, and this does not have an SD card slot or HDMI, and you are losing 1 USB-C port. So it does really depend on what you're gonna be doing with your laptop. Do you need a Pro version? Can you get away with using the Air? For pretty much anything that you're gonna need day to day, this Air is gonna be more than powerful for you. And the last comparison that I wanna do is to the 13-inch MacBook Pro. It's Pro. This does have a sticker on it. That's our Same Brain logo for my podcast. This was the first M1 MacBook Pro to come out. This was honestly such a game changer because this is really what showed us the power of the M1 chip. So kind of seeing these two next to each other is a pretty beautiful experience because now that we're at M2, this MacBook Air is one of the first ones to get the M2 chip. So we started here, now we're here, and that means, my friends, it's time to finally test this out. Okay, we just finished filming the unboxing and now we're gonna transfer some footage. And there's something that I noticed is I almost have always been using dark mode on my MacBooks that have the notch. So I never noticed the notch. And it is definitely noticeable in light mode, which is why it doesn't even bother me because I never really saw it before. So we're gonna go back to dark mode because this is a crime. Look at that, way better. Oh, the typing feels nice. First USB-C. And that's how we do it. We need a thumbnail. Oh my God, my stomach's growling. I'm hungry. We need a thumbnail. You're dusty. Is you all clean? You look good.
I got you a thumbnail.
You did? Oh my God. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have a thumbnail for you. I gotta find it. Okay, cam into there. Transferring 2 cards at once. Love that. Yeah, we should definitely take a thumbnail before we leave. Can you see these?
Yes.
Do we want this here, or do we like just this? Okay. How's that?
Yeah, it's good.
How's the reflection?
I liked it on the other side.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Cool.
That feels good. All right, let's go get food. So we're taking a little lunch break and I'm going to set up my Final Cut project. Where's the computer, Justine? Oh, it's in here. Look at this. I fit the entire laptop in here. I have my charging cable. Everything is so tiny and it's perfect. I love it. Like, look at this. It's a piece of my hair. It's cool. You saw nothing. Let's get this project started. So it does get a little smudgy, But the good news is it wiped off quite nice. So that is definitely something to think about when you are getting the darker MacBook. The color looks so beautiful, especially out here in the sunlight. Oh, love it. Love to see it. Oh, that was fast. So I got my project started and I just made a 3-camera multicam clip pretty much instantly. Like, it was super fast, and all of this footage is directly out of the Sony. I didn't make any proxy footage, nothing. I just brought it right in. So we got our 3 angles here. I always like to make sure that this table is lined up, so I gotta do a little slight adjustment. And here we go. We've got all 3 of our camera angles right there. If I want to switch angles, I just can hit 1, 2, 3. So I had lunch off camera. I got my edit started and I kind of want some ice cream. So I'm gonna go get some ice cream and continue my edit there. I love this thing so much so far. Oh no, they're closed. 3 p.m. I'll just work on my computer and I'll wait. I have no problem waiting for ice cream. So we're 5 minutes away from ice cream. Could not be more excited. It's also really great because I've already started this edit. So as you guys are watching this video is done. Just know that this was edited while I'm sitting here waiting for ice cream. I pretty much have most of the unboxing done. So far, editing has been going pretty great, and the one thing about this MacBook Air is it doesn't have a fan in it. So when it does start getting warm, that's sometimes where you'll see some of the processor lag a little bit, and I'm not plugged in. I'm editing a 3-camera multicam clip in this Final Cut timeline right now, and I do feel the MacBook Air getting a little warm. Like, it's nothing at all to compare like it used to be with like the Intel Macs, but I just want to say that I've noticed that it is getting warm. So that's where the Pro kind of comes into play, because obviously that does have fans, so you can push that a little bit harder, whereas this one, you are kind of limited to the temperature constraints that this has. But so far, I am editing like a champ, and I haven't had any sort of setbacks. Oh, I just can't even decide like what I want, because I want all of it. Okay, let's go outside and enjoy this delicious treat while we keep editing. The life of an editor. It's not always this easy. This could not be any more unrealistic of the life of an editor, but hey, maybe we start a trend. This MacBook starts getting hot. Put a little ice cream under there. Cool you down. This is freaking delicious. I did not need 2 scoops. So we're back after the ice cream and lunch break, and I want to show you guys the plugin pack that I made with Motion VFX called MKeynote. But first, I need to light a candle. The new Mac smell to set the mood. Smells just like a new Mac to me. So here's the plugin pack, and you're gonna download MInstaller. This also works for not only Final Cut, but also for Premiere and DaVinci Resolve. And here it is. I'm gonna click install. I already have it purchased on my computer. Also gonna install MKBHDs. Both of those look like they're installed. I'm gonna open up Final Cut Pro, and these are all right here in the titles. So we've got MKBHDs, and my MKeynote. We've got all kinds of backgrounds, we have boards, and our little call to actions here, which I'm going to use one of these as my title. And it's great because these are all customizable, so I can change the colors and I can make them look however I want. And since this is the Midnight MacBook, I'm gonna change the color to like a dark blue. So if you guys want to check that out or any of the other plugins for Motion VFX, I'll put a link in the description. One of the things that I like to do when I'm doing comparisons or even just review videos like this is go to Apple's website. They have the option to pick which products you want and can compare them to each other. Now, as with all of these things, there obviously is price differences, but I feel like if you are someone who is going to be keeping this computer for a really long time, you are going to want to upgrade the RAM and the storage as much as possible. The great news is what I usually say about storage is you can always use external drives. But as great as it is to be able to use external drives, there are some times where I just want to have my laptop and I don't want to have anything attached to it. And you will be surprised how quickly things do add up on your computer. Hey, Justine here from the future. Ironically, I got to the part where I was talking about storage and I got a notification in Final Cut that says I have run out of storage. This is only a 1 terabyte drive. So basically that means this entire video, I have it completely shot and I'm editing everything directly off of the drive and I have officially filled it up. For me, I would not be able to just get by on a 1 terabyte drive. Storage space aside, I have been incredibly impressed with this performance so far. Like I actually haven't really felt like I'm editing on a MacBook Air at all. Normally I would do these types of edits on my MacBook Pro and it almost feels very similar to editing on my MacBook Pro as far as how seamless it's going. So I am more than impressed with how Final Cut has been handling this so far. So I've been editing all day and now I'm back and my battery is getting a little bit low. I haven't charged this at all since I took it out of the box, so this is gonna be the first time that I'm charging it. So let's plug in our MagSafe right here. Hey Jake, do you remember when we were talking about thumbnails?
Yeah.
What about thumb drives?
That's terrible.
I know, it's not.
Quit. Bye.
He's gone. Bye. I deserve that. But come on, this is really cool. Like thumb drive. I'm gonna paint the nail. Anyway, where was I? So I'm gonna continue editing the video that you just watched, but this is kind of a first look and my first impressions of the M2 MacBook Air. I'm really excited. And when the first M1 came out with that 13-inch MacBook Pro, I knew that the future of the Apple silicon chips was going to be a game changer, and I could not be more correct in that thinking. The fact that you are able to run up to 11 streams of ProRes 4K on a MacBook Air is incredibly impressive. I was editing this 3-cam multicam clip without it even being converted to ProRes. It was just straight off my Sony camera, did nothing, just brought it in and I was already able to edit. In addition to that, you can also edit 2 streams of 8K, which is also pretty impressive. I do want to run some further tests and we will be doing a follow-up video, so I would love to hear from you guys. What would you like to see me test out on this? Leave those in the comments below and I will see you guys in my next video. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell to be notified when I post new videos, and I'll see you in the next one. We got a 2 terabyte storage, but what I love so much about the MacBook Air is that it is so small, portable, and compact.